between midnight, 3 in the morning, they will be chased to death. Hello Internet, this is Clinton Manning, and you're watching Tales by Firelight. When my grandfather was young, he was in the military, and he was known for being a really fast runner. He played in the games in the military, and he always got first place. He was incredibly fast, and he had lots of endurance. He was also very quick to anger, a bit feisty, and he got in fights all the time. One weekend, they had some time off. They decided to blow off some steam, and they all went to a bar. I think there was one girl that 2 people wanted, and he was one of them, and pretty soon they got into this fight, and he ended up getting kicked out of the bar. Now by then, it was really late, and he had to walk by himself, and he was so upset still. He was really mad. So he was walking, he was kicking everything, and he was kind of screaming to himself, and he didn't even get a chance to have any drinks, so he felt like his weekend was completely ruined. So we have a trail, and it's a clear, starry night. There's a nice bright moon that's illuminating pretty much everything, and there's trees on both sides. But as he passes the little forest that the pub was located, he starts getting into a clearing where there's like farms and cows, pastures, and a few rolling hills. What can he hear? The sound of his footsteps, his breathing, kind of upset still, mumbling to himself. And as he looks ahead, he sees a tree that's right next to the path he's taking. And there's a fence on the right side. Looks like 1,000,000 cows. And there's someone sitting under the tree. And as he passes by, he says good night. Like good evening. In Portuguese, it's boa noite. And the man didn't respond. So he stops, turns around, and because he's already upset, he's like, good night. That's rude not to answer. And the man didn't move. Now, as he took a good look at this man, the man, or he thinks it was a man, was curled up with his hands, like in a fetal position. And his hands were covering his face. And so my grandfather got kind of curious, and he moved in closer to get a better look. And as he bent over, he saw that the man's fingers were just disgusting and veiny and dirty. And then the man who was sitting there revealed his face, and he saw my grandfather said it was the most hideous face he had ever seen. So it shocked him, and he bounced back, and then the man stood up, and the man was not normal. The man stood up, and he
kept getting taller
and appeared to be really thin and kind of crooked. And so my grandfather freaked out, hopped the fence, started running through the cows. And so he's running as fast as he can, and he looks back and he thinks, I'm so fast, this guy's not gonna be able to catch me. But when he looks back, he sees the man right on his tail. In fact, he's about to grab him. So he turns around and runs as fast as he can, and pretty soon he gets to the point where he's at the edge of, I guess, where they keep all the cows, the fenced area, and there's a whole bunch of cows right in front of the fence. So he jumps and he starts kind of running on top of the cows, and he kind of slips and falls between a few and crawls under a few of the cows. And it's really dark because he's under these cows, and the cows are kind of moving around, and the whatever it is that's chasing him starts to bother the cows. So the cows are mooing and some are running in one direction, running in another. And finally he gets through, passes the fence, and he's in an open field. This is where he gets his chance to really book it. And he's just running as fast as he can. And all he can hear is just his footsteps. And the grass isn't that tall, so he's able to really go fast. And he feels like he gets a good amount of distance between him, and he looks back, and the thing appears far away and quickly makes a move right onto him. So at this point, he's just running, and he's starting to get tired, and he feels it clawing at his back. And it's hurting, and he's running, and then he looks ahead of him, and he sees a barn with a little house next to it. Screams, help me! And he's running, and he's at the point of exhaustion, but he gets that last burst of adrenaline. It's like he hit the turbo button, and he starts as fast as he can. Pretty soon the door opens because he's screaming his head off, and a man steps out of the door with a shotgun and starts shooting into the air. And he aims for the guy, and there's like maybe 5 little steps. He just clears the steps, and the man moves out of his way. He lands in a kitchen, and then this woman has a blanket and kind of drapes it around him, and he's just trembling, and he's closing his eyes, and he's covering his ears, and he just hears the gun, boom, 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 getting shot over and over. And he was sitting on a couch, and he was in a warm candlelight room. Again, this was like, what, 1930s? And so he looked at the old lady, and she offered him a cup of tea. And so he grabbed the tea, and he's still trembling, and he kind of drinks it. And she's like, don't worry, you're amazing. And he's like, where am I? And then she goes, you're the first one who has ever made it. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching Tales by Firelight. For all those that have a sense of wonder and a love for life's little mysteries, these videos are for you. So please comment and let me know what you think. And please don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss my next tale. Okay, goodbye for now.